and welcome back to Cuckoo for Books. My name is Salva and today I'm going to be doing a very late April wrap-up and favorites. As you can tell, I am back home in Manila with my old bookshelves, and this video is a long time coming because the end of April meant exams, and then I flew home, and then I went straight to a cousin's wedding, and it's only now that I'm fully home for the summer and chilling and can get to this. First, the wrap-up of all the books I read this month. This month was a very good reading month, despite it being finals and having to move back home. I managed to get a lot of reading done. I liked a lot of the books I read this month. First book I read this month is China Rich Girlfriend by Kevin Kwan. It is the sequel to Crazy Rich Asians, and I've been on a trip with this series because I want to read the two books before the third one comes out at the end of this month. It was fun rereading it. If you haven't read it and you want to be entertained this summer, you should definitely consider picking up this series because it's fun and it's crazy and it's rich and Asians. Next book I read this month is The Sisters of Versailles by Sally Christie. I put this in my What's in My Suitcase at the beginning of the semester, and I'm glad that I was able to read it. It is about the first set of mistresses that Louis the 15th had. The weird thing is, and what's interesting about the book, is that they were all sisters, so it really goes into sisters and we're all kind of having affairs with the same dude. How does that work? I don't know if I'm crazy about the way that the writer writes, but the topic is so interesting, and she does do two more books in the series regarding his other mistresses, so I might be interested in picking those two up. Next book I read is an anthology, and it's Slasher Girls and Monster Boys. Story selected by April Genevieve, I don't know how to say her last name, Tucholpi. Sure, we'll go with that. I was really afraid to read this book for two reasons. First, I'm not a fan of April Genevieve T. I don't know how to say her last name. I read her book Between the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea. Didn't really like it so much, so when I found out that she was the one who had compiled the stories, I was like, I don't know if I should read this. And second, I am not a fan of anthologies in general. I end up never finishing them, and this is the first anthology ever that I've ever finished, and I'm so glad that I did. The stories are amazing. A lot of them I wish could be made into short films or could be made into even longer novels. Next book on my list is probably gonna make it to my list of top 10 books for this year. It's this early and I'm calling it, and it is A Study in Charlotte by Brittany Cavallaro. It is a gender-bent modern-day Sherlock tale. What I love about it is it doesn't take itself too seriously. I could imagine it being the jump-off point for a TV series. I want them to write a TV series. I would say if you're a fan of the old Nancy Drew novels, this is more of a fully fleshed out version of the Nancy Drew novels. And so if you're a fan of those, consider reading this because I just had a lot of fun reading it, and I'm trying not to read the sequel right now because I know that the final book in the series comes out next year, so I want to kind of space it out, space my reading of the series out. Second to the last book I read this month is Frozen Tides by Morgan Rhodes. This is the fourth book in the Fallen Kingdom series. As you know, I usually do reviews for when I read the Fallen Kingdom series, and I've done reviews of the first three books. This book is a turning point for me. I'm just gonna choose not to do a review of this book. This felt like such a filler novel. I don't know even if I'll be reading the next book in the series. I might when I'm really bored, but I don't want to take the time to film a review and force opinions out of myself that I just don't have because, I don't know, I was kind of disappointed in this novel. I don't know, this might be it. This might be it for me and this series. The last book I read is a reread, and this is something I like to do. I found out it was a nice little method to do during finals, and that's to just reread books. You know, you're stressed with the finals, you don't have time to immerse yourself in a new world, so what I like to do is reread old books through my Kindle. Guess what it is? It's Tamora Pierce! Yay! I read First Test. It's always been my least favorite series, aside from the Becca Cooper books, which I just don't count when I try to reread the series. I haven't read this book since freshman year high school, so it's been a while. I'm rereading now the third book of the series, and I'm having a blast. It's always good to get me some Tamora Pierce, you know? Now for my favorites. The only one that really stuck out for me for this month would be shoes. I finally bought a new pair of flats. I don't have any left because I broke them. They weren't even mine. I borrowed them / stole them from my mom, and then I broke them. So I got nice little flats, and they really are my favorite. I've been wearing them non-stop. They're these. And are they sandals? Are they flats? Are they espadrilles? Who knows? For the kind of shoes I wear when I go out, I wait for other people to compliment me. They don't, but I'm like complimenting myself throughout the day. I'm like, look at you with your cute little shoes on, because nobody else does it. It's gotten to that point where I've worn them every day, and now I'm afraid I'm gonna end up breaking them, because that's what I will literally wear my shoes till their death. I'm afraid that that's gonna happen with these. My second favorite would be the TV show Friends. I just found myself watching a lot more this month. You know, you have episodes that you always skip over. I try to watch all the skipped episodes. I just love the series. This month made me love it even more. Of course, I couldn't finish a favorites without including some kind of lipstick, and for this month it is, again, a ColourPop lipstick. It is Speed Dial. I don't know what to say after saying the shade, but look at me try to hold it up like a makeup YouTuber. I don't know if that's helping. And that about does it for my April wrap-up and favorites. You can follow me on my other bookish adventures on Twitter and Instagram. Please subscribe, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye, guys!